Hi, everyone. So, let me tell you what's happening now. I have been asked, since doing Innocence of Guilt, all sorts of questions about playing this role. But the question that everyone has asked is, you talk to Mary, you know Mary, you link up with Mary. And the truth is that if I had not done so, I wouldn't be able to effectively portray Mary on stage. Let me tell you, what I didn't realize is that there's so many persons who are her friends, who are actually my friends. And I wouldn't have known this if I had not taken on this project. So I give thanks for that. But I know that you out there, you really want to meet Mary Doyle, Mary D. And so you will get the opportunity to do that today, because guess who is here with me on the set of Innocence of Guilt, but the great, the beautiful, the wonderful, the stunning Mary D. Mary, greetings. How you do?
I'm good. I'm blessed and highly favored.
So I see. Let me tell you.
Good to me.
Firstly, I must say that you're looking fabulous.
Thank you. It's not me, it's the Lord.
And the colors that you have chosen to wear. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. When I was getting ready this morning, I took down about 3 different outfits, and I said to myself, you know what, let me just go plain, because I know that Mary going to come, and Mary is going to have on some beautiful colors. And so I was right. Beautiful dress, I like it.
Thank you. It's my mother's dress.
What do you mean it's your mother's dress?
It's my mother's dress, Lily Doyle.
So this dress is about how old now?
About 50 years old or so.
You know, if it wasn't one thing, then I'd make you get up and model, you know. But I'm sure that all of the people looking on now are going to say, that cannot be a 50-year-old dress.
Yes.
That's a silk dress?
It's a silk dress, and Miss Choice.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, ma'am. So listen, how will you manage to keep all these pieces and keep them so well?
Well, my mother passed this year, April, 7 years. So this is one of the dresses I got from her. She liked clothes. She loved clothes.
Oh, so you actually got that thing from her.
And my mother's daughter.
But in the play, you talk about how your father was always so well dressed. So he was a well dressed one, but your mother used to love dressing him up too.
No, my mother was well dressed, and he was always well dressed, because guess what happened? My father was a tailor, you know. Maybe that's where I get my fashion skill from. He was a tailor before.
Yes.
He went to the other job.
Okay. So your mother used to sew as well?
Well, let me give you this story about my mother.
Yes.
And she has mothered me several times.
Yes.
My mother, at 19 years of age, she met my father, right? And they used to call her Miss Mary's mother daughter.
Why? Because she
Because she dressed. I am my mother's daughter. If you see my nails, it's my mother. You know what I mean? Her makeup, sometimes I have to say, Mama, it's too much, you know?
Yes.
So she was always like that.
And that was back in the day.
I'm talking about me in the 40s and the 50s and the 30s, because she was born 1920.
Right.
The 21st of February. She has a birthday this month.
So listen now, I wonder where all of these influences came from. Because I know back in the day, because this was where, in Linstead?
And in Kingston.
And in Kingston as well.
I was born in Kingston but moved to Linstead when I was about 10 years of age or so.
Okay. So you grew up in the city life for the early years. You were in the city life. So tell me a little bit more about your mother.
My mother.
Because look at your face. You see your face? Once you say my mother, your face just starts glowing.
Yeah.
Talk to me about her.
I've never seen my mother going out on the street without her stockings. In those days, they used to sell a pair of stockings for £1, £1, and they would come in boxes and so.
So she was always well put
together.
together. And so from a little girl, was it this situation where she used to dress up in her light clothes to go to church? Because
It's four of us.
Okay.
Four of us.
4 girls.
You know. And like we are 5 years apart. My eldest sister is 5 years older than me.
Yes.
I'm 5 years older than one and 7 years older than one. Okay. So growing up with my eldest sister and myself, we used to wear like the same clothes, you know, the same styles and material and stuff. But my mother just dressed well. It was always her lace and, you know, and so.
Yes. Okay. So that's your mother. And your mother was the person who carried on that love that your father nurtured you within the early days after he passed, right?
I mothered my mother too.
You did?
Yes, I mothered my mother. But I want to go back, digress a bit. Like when we were children, I used to go to the beautician from I was about 2 years old. They would have to put cushions for me to sit on.
I understand that one.
2 years old. So even though I don't like to do my hair myself.
Go to the beautician.
Go to the hairdresser.
To do what?
To wash your hair, and then they would say stretch it out. You just stretch it out.
With the comb.
With the hot comb. Yes, but you went. Yes.
From 2 years
2 years old.
But you couldn't help yourself then, Mary.
But yes, but from those days I liked to dress, and I couldn't even speak well, and I would say, put on the dress with the that means embroidery.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's and all my sisters dress well too.
Okay.
But we have different personalities. I have my mother's personality.
Well, one thing that I can tell you about your personality is that people remember it, because once people associated me with Innocence of Guilt, then people started to run into me and they would say, boy, that lady, you know, they always refer to you as that lady. That lady was always so well put together. And one of the things I heard, listen, you have to get the hairstyle right, you know, because she always had her hair back in one. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is that as you move through, you had an impact on persons, you know. A mutual friend of ours told me that, you remember when we used to go to the hot party them, the hot party them back in the 80s, and Mary used to carry my clothes them for me when nobody could match me. It was Mary that I used to buy the things from. And so I'm getting a better understanding now of where that, what you call it now, the fashion that was injected into your DNA by osmosis, right? Where it came from. So tell me about like those early days when you were an entrepreneur and the shopping sprees that you used to go on, and you know, what was that like?
I was always selling, you know, I never played dolly house.
Okay.
No, I never had a dolly at all. I never played dolly house. I was always a very astute little girl with my handbag. And I always tell women, they must always have the handbag, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So, as early as 6 years of age, I was out there selling stuff with my uncle, selling.
Really?
Yes, and I love selling.
So your uncle had a fabric business?
And he would go all over the place, and what
you were traveling all over with him? And I can just imagine you and your little cheeky self as a little girl.
What?
And you must have been a pretty little girl too, so everywhere that you go now, people would, Lord, look at this little girl.
But my mother told me when I was born, the nurse said to her, where you got this pretty little baby from? But Rosie, let me tell you something, and I'm telling the world this. My beauty is not from outside, it's from within. So I have a double whammy. If I'm pretty outside, I'm pretty inside too. I'm a beautiful person.
Yes.
They don't come any better.
Yes. Boy, this is a grand opportunity for persons who, because they're, believe it or not, they're young people who have read the stories and they have a little knowledge about the history. And like, I was at a gas station once and this lady came up and she said, I see that you're doing this play with this lady, the Mary lady. Listen, when I was a little girl, you know, I remember my mother talking about it and saying, I want to come see the show. How should you talk to her? You know? So this is an opportunity for people to see the person that you are.
In speaking to you today, I want people to learn, you know, a lot of things.
Yes.
To live with.
Yes.
You should always make an impression. You should never meet anybody and they forget you.
Okay.
Because I know in my travels, if I'm in London or any part of the world and I'm back in Jamaica, and I call this, you know, this business person and I say to them, you know it's calling? I said, hear it, must know who it is. So I said to them, you know, this dark black woman, this, you know, so
But you have a very distinctive voice
too. Yes, yes. I didn't realize that all along, you know.
That was part of what I had to overcome. Getting your speech rhythm and the fact that you dot all of your I's and you cross all of your T's.
You know what? So
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And putting all of the full stops. You know, that kind of a way.
Well, I'm coming out of the British education system, you know.
Yes.
So maybe. Yes.
So the early days now, as you say, you have always been somebody who has been like from very young an entrepreneur. But where did it come from? Just from inside of you, that you just knew that this was what you wanted to do? You know, you wanted to make people happy by supplying them with goods and services that they need.
I used to put on fashion shows too, you know.
Okay.
Put on fashion shows, buy material and get ladies in Linstead, Joyce Dillon and many others, you know, Phyllis Dillon, and we would put on fashion shows and so.
By the way, the Phyllis Dillon that she's talking about is the Phyllis Dillon,
the singer.
Right? The singer, and I know that for sure because I also know Everton Dillon, who is cousin to
my
Phyllis.
friend.
Yes, Everton Dillon.
I spoke with Phyllis's sister, Blondell, yesterday.
Okay. So Linstead back in the day, people thought that Linstead was some little sleepy town.
No.
You know?
Linstead was never any sleepy town. Yeah, Theatre Royal, you see?
Yes.
Theatre Royal. I think there's a church there now, Seventh-day Adventist Church. And on a Thursday evening, matinee, you know, you just find a lot of people going to matinee, and Linstead has produced some of the most beautiful women in the world.
So what I mean is true.
One happened to be one of my cousins, Mary Doyle. She was at Miss St. Catherine. Then you have another lady named Babs Top. Top Street or Top Lane was named after her. And another lady, Pearl Anderson, in those days, in the 50s and so. Linstead never slept at all, and then you had Fergie's gas station.
Okay.
And the club was behind there, and it's still going on.
No, the club not there anymore. I only went to Linstead.
Akipad
still.
It's still going on.
Akipad was from them days?
From those days.
Wow.
With Harold Harrison and all those people. It was one of the most fantastic. And then you had the Backside Company, you know.
Well, let me tell you, my early recollection of Linstead was going to parties there. I remember back in the days, my young days, you know, parties would be happening at some sports club up there.
Orange Field, Orange Field. And then you had Pleasant Farm.
Pleasant Farm as well.
Grades, you know, Orange Field, Pleasant Farm, and Hayfield.
And Hayfield is
for the senior people.
Yes.
The expatriate, like
the expats.
Colonel Haywood and Mr. Neal and so forth, and Frank Whitaker.
You're walking around with a whole heap of history.
Yes, I'm an historian.
Wow.
Not only for Jamaica.
Mary D. Who gave you the name Mary D?
There's this gentleman, he's still alive, Mr. Powell, C.N. Powell. He was at United Dominions Corporation when I got there. So he called me Mary D. And
it stuck.
Yes. And Bridget.
Bridget Sanders.
She when I was planning to get pregnant, I got in a few pairs of sandals from Germany.
Right.
So I gave her one pair, a turquoise pair. I still have it until today. To make about 3 or 4 pairs. It was like the pink, the yellow, the white, the black. So she made them, and she went to a certain store. She asked me if she could do them, because she went to a certain store and got a top store in Tropical Plaza. So she named the pair of sandals.
Mary D's. Listen, I didn't know that is how that story go.
With the sandals?
With the sandals. Because I've known Bridget, see, Bridget's another one.
But I knew Bridget from she was a boy.
Playboy.
And then she went to G's one of a kind.
With Sonny G. So all those people he used to you know, because Sonny G's one stop used to carry some, that's where you have to go inside with
one of a kind.
One of a kind.
And then you remember Mr. Pinchin?
Yeah. I know that name.
Mr. Pinchin, his wife, Maria Pinchin, she is Spanish. She had a store in Premier Plaza, and she brought in a lot of foreign stuff. I have a pair of jeans I bought from her.
That's from 1970 something.
No, before that.
60s?
And there was another top boutique too in Manor Park too.
Oh yes. Yes.
I don't remember the name, but
I remember names like Macherie and those names from way back.
They were into accessories, and then at Mr. Pinchin's store, I bought this Brazilian, embroidery, like with material, with little hearts all over it. So I wear the thin material shirt, and I like.
Because you want to show up the. But Mary, your fashion was out of this world, Tina, because from some of the pieces that I have seen since being associated with Innocence of Guilt, your fashion that you used to wear was before its time.
And before my time.
Me see some lace see-through something, Mary. You really used to go out the road in a
Well, there is a white cutwork jumpsuit.
Yes.
But what I did,
you put on.
I got the lining, the exact color of my skin. So you wouldn't. But I remember wearing that outfit in
and
France.
Everybody went into
and
shop.
People just kept, because sometimes they don't expect to see dark skinned people of color looking, this way. Even with the skin texture, I don't know if much of it is left now of my skin, but people always said, I had beautiful skin and so.
You still do.
But it was a good time. It was fun with Elizabeth of Sweden.
Yes.
Miss Elizabeth and Mr. Herman. So I used to go there like every Thursday evening, and Winsome Bryan was there and working there, and people like Camille Brown would be there, and Shirley Henry from Modern.
All of these names are big names. They hear people, they are associated to very big companies.
But Miss Elizabeth loved me, and she would always, do like this.
Skin. Talking about that, how have you managed to maintain like your skin? And because people probably think that you got to get facial and whatnot, and knowing you probably have your own little blend up thing that you use on your skin. How have you managed to maintain the texture of your skin over all of these years?
Simple. Very simple.
You know, want to give
I'm going to teach people. I don't want to be like a lot of people. They move on, they pass on, and they don't leave. I cleanse my face with oil.
Okay.
Because your face is a mannequin, right?
Yes.
So I cleanse my face with oil about 3 times. Wipe it off. And I'll give the secret, because I like people to look good. I quarrel if you don't look good.
Yes.
I want to see people looking good. That's why I love money. I love money, so I can take care of myself and help other people. Because, once you step out of your house, or even in your house, you should be looking good.
True. Yes.
So I've been using this thing for years, and I've told several people, and they don't get it. The name of it is Alka-Self lotion.
Oh yes!
And you can get
from
it.
back in the days.
It's from Guyana. You can get it at Mega Mart. Because people identify me with Mega Mart to the church people. They are praying for me and they'll say they are praying for Mary by Mega Mart. And it's good in the spiritual realm to be associated with people with money. You know,
I like it.
so
you can get
alcohol, so you have it. This is about
it's a moisturizer.
No, it's a lotion. You have the lotion,
okay.
right?
Okay.
So after you cleanse your face 3 or 4 times with oil or so, then you use the alcohol lotion and a piece of cotton wool and you wipe your face. And then you have the cream too. You have it in the cream, any bumps coming up, or you just put it on all the while. It's like this other thing I used to sell, the movie star, Diane Carl and those women use it. Yeah. Pagris, it's French.
Pagris.
Yes,
I have
and
to roll the R at the back of the throat.
And there are a few people, you know, stewardesses,
yeah.
you know, they'll say, well, if Mary can clean up your skin, nobody else can clean it up.
Because you've never had pimples. You've never had blemishes.
Not really, not really. But it's in the family too. But you have to still take care of your skin. Because my sisters and my mother, I think they have nicer skin than me.
Really?
I remember when my sister, she's 5 years younger than me, when she was going to Canada and she went to Air Jamaica. All the people, the workers kept saying to her, lady, what you use on your skin?
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So it's in the family.
So you sent me some pictures once with, I think you had entered a contest. You had entered some beauty contest at some point, hadn't you? Yes?
I've entered quite a few contests.
You entered Miss Jamaica at one point?
Mm-hmm.
You remember what year that was?
I think it's maybe 67 or 68. But
That
I
was
had
before.
to leave.
That was after the Miss Ebony in Jamaica?
Yes, man, long after. Miss Ebony maybe was in the 50s and so.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
With Evelyn Andrade. And this lady, she just passed the other day.
Doreen Brown.
Yes.
Doreen, yeah, I love that lady so much. She was my friend. Yeah, she actually had won one of those contests. Yes. And yeah, so you entered that contest?
Yes, but I had to go off to New York because my aunt wasn't so well and I usually have to go to accompany her to the doctor. So, you know, she came first.
Talk to me about New York now, because that aunt, see, me know if we touch the button, you know, once we touch certain things, your face just light up. That aunt seems to be a favorite of yours.
All my aunts do, you know. All my aunts and all my uncles. It's a love affair.
So you ended up going to New York a lot?
Mm-hmm. Yes? I used to go 4 times a year or so.
From what age?
I should have gone there when I was 12 to go to school, but the embassy would not give me a visa at the time because they said both parents would have to be in a position where they couldn't support a child. And my father had a fairly good job, but my mother never worked. My father didn't want her to work. And yet, my mother never worked, but we grew up with 2 helpers and a nanny. And our nanny is still alive, Aunt Pearl. She's about 90-something now.
Where is she?
Up in Russopen, in Endless Way, Lindsay, outside of.
Okay.
And you had the helpers like Beryl and Tiny and Miss Bertha and her daughter Lou and Estella.
You know the wonderful thing about back in those days though, where even although they were, you call it domestic workers, but they were like part of the family, you know? That's what was nice about it. It wasn't like, oh, this is the helper. This was like a family member, you know? So you have all of them warm memories. But back to this art now and the New York living. You seem to have gone to New York very often, and this gave you exposure to a lot of stuff that you wouldn't have had in Jamaica. So, you know, the art and the fashions and the fashion shows and the restaurants and so you mixed with quite a few aristocrats and superstars and
Yeah,
Yes.
I've been there and I've done that.
and she just
They would
said so
approach me,
simple.
you know, because most times when I travel, they would come up to me and say, "Are you in the movies?"
You used to always be that striking.
Very striking.
And that is something that has
You
always
have
been
to
said.
you have to dress a way that you talk without opening your mouth.
Yes. And you
Just
open-
like how I bought this ring as a black woman, 1965, for my 21st birthday.
And you still have it.
This is the only ring I wear now, this diamond ring.
I can't even begin to imagine how much that value.
And it took me about a year to pay off. But you have to talk without opening your mouth, because what went on in the 50s and the 60s in America and Jamaica is still going on.
Yes.
That is why you find people are bleaching and all different. Nothing has changed in the States. Nothing has changed.
That must shock you though. Some of the stuff that you see now where, you know, women of color now don't have no color no more because they mash up the skin.
But bleaching been going on, you know. I knew a lot of women in the 50s and 40s that used to bleach. Bleach Palmer Skin Success and the soap.
It's bleaching.
It's bleaching.
There was another one, not Enola.
Not it, but Palmer Skin Success. So bleaching is not just
It's not
bleach.
something. No, we never know Palmer's Skin Success was
Palmer's,
bleaching-free.
yes,
You think it
Palmer's.
was just one cocoa butter something?
No Palmer Skin Success.
So you never touched them things
No,
at all because you
I
knew what it was. All right. There's a reference to your very first job as an executive secretary. Yeah, that was at United Dominions, right?
Operation.
And that must have been something for you at that age, because being a young black girl. Talk to me about that experience working
First,
there.
you know, I worked at Lands Department
Mhm.
for 6 months, 1962, about June to October. And in those days, I had to change over my passport again. It had expired. So it took about 6 months. When I got it back in October, it was very cold. My father said, "You can't travel," because I was a delicate child. So I didn't travel. So I got this job in November with United Dominions Corporation. And funny, I didn't mention it before. I worked there for about the first month, the first payday. I got 1 month bonus.
Because you were that good?
You have to be humble. You have to be humble.
Oh. And work.
I would never kick ass, I kiss it. All my life. You have to be humble. So people older than me, I would go and shop for them on King Street. I had an eye for fashion, so I would shop for them and they send me to make the coffee, and just a few blacks were there, but I talk without opening my mouth the way I dress.
That's a lesson. That's a lesson that a lot of people have to learn.
And you
now.
see, I expose myself to going to the theater, yeah? The theater, eating,
Exposure.
right? Even once I'm on Jamaica Arms in those days by Port Royal Street, Paul's 104, Uptown Swiss Chalet, and you know, you move, and you go to the different gyms. That's another side of my life.
So you've been somebody who's always been physically fit throughout most of your life. You said you started at the gym now.
Yes, I started last
So
month.
when you go gym now, where you going with me? Or talk it through.
I try to do everything. I'm not doing badly at all.
So you do the classes or you work out on the machines?
Do the classes and work out on the machine too.
Okay.
Really, I used to do 5 classes a day, you know, at Ella Davis, like 7:30. 5 classes. 7:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and then the 3 evening classes, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30.
No man, see the feet.
I had a fabulous
like a
body.
horse.
Yes.
My goodness. And it has stayed with
And
you.
I did yoga and slender tone with Mr. Dodd. I don't know if you remember Mr. Dodd.
I don't know, Miss.
He gave slender tone and reflexology.
Okay. you're walking
I used
around
to
with
walk too.
so much history. Because just talking with you even before, and the places that you've mentioned and all that, a lot of people are going to go, with that? That used to happen at Jamaica, you know what I mean? And I'm thinking that I hope you're documenting all of these
Victoria
things,
appeared on a Saturday evening, and Byron was a friend of mine and his mother.
Well, Victoria Pier kicking again, you know. Trust me, they have redone.
And Vikings band and Miss Chana at Jamaica Commercial School. And at the same time when I was working at UDC, I kept upgrading it myself. You have to upgrade yourself.
True. All right, so fast forward now to, you had told me that when you were going through some of the changes that you have gone through, you were actually ministering to some folks along the way. So even though you were going through a lot of trauma and you were going through abuse, you were still able to reach out to persons. Talk to me about that.
I reached out to a lot of women, you know, in different ways. You know, it wasn't easy. You know, women have gone through a lot. You know. And what I want to make very clear to, I was always involved in the church.
Okay.
The church knew my story.
Yes.
The Catholics would come up and they would pray, Father share, other people would come up. So everybody knew the story. And the other people, the man's peers, they knew the story. Everybody knew, the children knew.
But see, what I would like people to understand is your selflessness. Because even although you were going through some changes, you're still able to find the time and make the effort to minister to other women who are going through. Because you mentioned
and I'm still ministering to other women now too.
Yes.
And I'll let you know too, I'm a philanthropist.
Okay. And always have been.
All my life.
But you're not one of those that walk around and say, yeah, I've done this. You just do and leave it.
And I don't wait for people to ask me for stuff. And if they even mention it, by the way, you know, like so and so, I say, true, you really like so and so. And then I go and find it.
Yes. All right, Mary, so you just had a birthday. That would be December 11th, right? Now, if you know this, you know, because I have to say it on stage. December 11th, and you're born 1944.
That makes me 74 years, 2 months and a few days. I started counting down from about when I was 67.
That is amazing. In terms of...
it's not me, you know, it's God. I'm here for a purpose.
Exactly what I'm coming to. In terms of the Mary D's legacy, what would you want that to be? We're not counting down and say you're going away soon, you know, but we just say, in your mind, what would you want your legacy to be?
I would love to set up a foundation to abuse women.
And this is not just a foundation to minister, but to see them through to from one level and to move through and become who they really need to be, right?
Because if things had worked out the way it should have worked out, and I'd gotten, my money wasn't taken away from me and my asset, I was planning to build like an open house, like about even 6 rooms, so women could stay there for a while until...
Women who needed to get away.
Right.
You must be horrified though when you hear of incidents that's happening now where women are being slaughtered and women are being murdered and so on. Aren't you horrified when you know?
I thought it would have stopped with me, but it's still going on. And why it's going on is because the system is not doing anything about it. You have to get to the root of the matter. What caused what? we only listen to the 7 o'clock news,
Right.
morning news, and the 5 o'clock evening news, right? But you have to go what caused what and get to that.
And you are somebody who you love your radio.
Yes, yes.
Because the truth is
I'm a radio person.
I have called you and I've said, Mary, where are you? And, oh, I'm at home. I said, so what is, oh, the radio is on. And I realized that you listen, you are a serious radio person, so you stay on top of things. What are some of the things that you would like to see different in our society? I will give us something.
A lot of things.
No, but just share some of it with us. Because I know that you must have thought about it over and over again. I'm sure that you've had time to reflect and to think, yes, if this could happen differently, maybe that outcome would be different. So what are some of the things that you want to see?
People should listen to people, you know what I mean? But back to what you're saying, when I was having my situation, if somebody called me and said, Mary, so-and-so is happening, I would jump in my car and go to them. Right away.
But you never had that happen.
I never had that, because when I said to you, Rosie so-and-so, he hit me down this morning, I said, Mary, no pay no mind, it's all the man them say, I see where John in state. When the crisis, now everybody said, well, we didn't know it was so bad, and you have to listen to people.
So people must listen to people.
Yes, they're more caring, you know.
Part of what,
What happened, Rosie, should not have happened.
yes.
It should not have happened. The workplace knew about it. Everybody there knew. They drew my attention to it. I wouldn't go to a workplace, you know what I mean, and say so and so. They came to me and I begged them to do something about it.
Part of the She Too movement, which is the movement that World With Entertainment has started, is to, if you see something happening, you know, investigate, intervene, inform. Is this something that you support?
Of course.
Okay.
I've heard them on the BBC because I'm a BBC person. I listen to the BBC a lot.
So Mary, it's getting hot and it's on the set, and we know we have to set up for show later. But I'm so happy I had this opportunity to talk with you so people can have an up close and personal. See how you're pretty, see how you're dressed up nice.
This is my mother's dress.
See how the makeup put on. And by the way, people, nobody did her makeup. She did her makeup herself, which is something that you've always done.
I'm a makeup artist, you know.
See what I mean?
But before I leave, my father didn't want my mother to work, right? My mother was a disciplinarian, you know. If I spit on the ground and it dry up before you come back, you know that's all the way. And that's all the
dry before you come back.
You know, she was, you know, fantastic. She could cook and, you know, everything. But she wanted to be a beautician. So after my father's death, I gave her the profession and she came first.
Okay. Oh, so that's what you're saying, that at one point you mothered your mother too. That's fantastic. What would you change?
I tell you this, if I didn't go to the bank to work, I was going on to Hollywood because I've always wanted to be a movie star. I'm very Hollywood minded. No. I used to go up to Hollywood a lot.
So that is what you would have changed. You would
I
have
wanted to be a movie star.
wanted to act. Want to be part
Because
of
I
the
wanted
glitz
to
and
go
glamour.
to drama school in New York and then go on to Hollywood.
Yes.
Because I had a lot of connection and I had everything going for me.
Yes. Yes. But the fact is that here you are in 2019, and we have to give thanks to the good Father, which you have been serving in more than one way.
All my life.
Yes.
I don't want anybody says because so and so now she's talking about God. All my life, God has been good to me. I should have been gone years ago, and I'm still
And here you are, still standing. And people are getting the opportunity to at least get an insight into the life
But-
that Mary Doyle lived.
But you know, you said something about what would I change. I think we need to be more caring and loving. You know, we have become very cross. You know what I mean? And the young people figure that people my age and old and younger weren't young at all, you know. They know everything about the sex, they know everything about the dance, they know everything about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And
So there's that impatience for,
and they don't respect the elderly at all, or they don't respect
which is
anybody.
something that we were all taught by our elders, you know.
But I'm still taking care. I'm still taking care of people, even now, babies, middle-aged, older people, and they take care of me too. See, Sister Doreen there, she takes care of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just met her maybe a little over 2 years ago. But she's the closest person to my personality. We think
Okay.
alike.
Okay, okay.
But I don't know. I don't know. It's sad. It's really sad. And then I don't want to get into politics. My politician is God. But from I was a little girl until now, I've been hearing, tighten your belts, tighten your belts.
You can't tighten your belt no more.
No, I want money. I'm begging people out there to pray for me so I can get some money to take care of myself and people. I don't want plenty. I just want to be blessed, you know, because they took away all my assets. They said they
But you
were,
worked so hard for.
yes, they said they were making an example of me. They want, I mustn't have anything. So I want things now to give people, because if people come to my house, sometimes people want to come and visit me. They don't even have the bus fare. And when they come, and another thing with my family, all of my family, my aunts, my father, my mother, once you come to our house, you have to leave
offer
with something.
thing. Yes, yes. So another thing that you would want to see different in our society is compassion. A
Yes.
little bit more compassion. Yes, apart from the money part, you know.
No, I don't love money to waste it. I
Yes.
spend money. I'm a very careful spender. But I want enough to help people, because I go on the road and I say to this one, hold this $50, hold this $100, I'm hungry. You know what I mean? People are crying out for help.
So compassion is something that's needed. Well, folks, you never meet her before, but I'm sure you get an opportunity to meet her now, Mary D. You know, we're not talking about Mary Lynch, that person that was created, as she calls it, created by the media. We're talking about Mary D, the real Mary Doyle. It was a pleasure talking with you. I thank you
Same
so
here
much.
too. Thank you too for having me.
We soon talk another time.